When I first encountered Jesus,
kad sam tek sreo Isusa,
God had to do some separation in me.
Bog je u meni morao napraviti neka odvajanja.
3 things that he did to me,
3 stvari koje je učinio za mene,
3 things that he separated me from,
3 stvari od kojih me odvojio.
was firstly my career.
Bilo je prvo moja karijera.
I was a professional musician
Ja sam bio profesionalni muzičar
and I played in a nightclub
i svirao sam u noćnom klubu
in London.
u Londonu.
Well, actually,
Zapravo,
it was a strip club. Lydia, you didn't hear that, did you?
strip
Lydia,
klub,
you're
strip klub je
listening.
bio.
Shh, don't tell them all.
Bio je strip klub.
The only reason I was there was the only job I could get.
Jedini razlog zašto sam ja tamo bio je zato što je to bio jedini posao koji sam mogao dobiti.
But the moment I surrendered my life to Jesus,
No onog trena kad sam predao svoj život Isusu,
God said, give up the music.
Bog je rekao odustani od muzike.
Separated it from me.
Odvoji se od nje.
It's very easy to say that in a meeting like this,
I vrlo je jednostavno reći to na ovakvom sastanku.
but music was my life.
No muzika je bila moj život,
It was my dream.
moj san.
It was everything I wanted.
Bila je sve što sam ja
It
želio.
was my whole desire in life.
To je bila cijela moja životna želja.
And to suddenly have all that go,
I da to sve odjednom ode,
was kind of challenging.
to je bio veliki izazov.
God separated me from something else.
Bog me odvojio od još nečega.
He separated me from my religion.
Odvojio me od moje religije.
You will understand this.
Vi to sigurno razumijete.
I hope you'll still love me.
I nadam se da me još uvijek volite.
I was brought up a Roman Catholic.
Ja sam bio rimokatolik.
Is that okay? Am I still loved?
Da li me još uvijek volite?
I went to church every week,
Išao sam u crkvu svakog tjedna,
twice some Sundays,
neki puta i 2 puta,
but I never found God.
no nisam našao Boga.
But that's another story.
No,
God
to je druga
separated me
priča.
from this
Bog me
religion,
odvojio od te religije,
but God separated me from something else.
no Bog me odvojio i od još nečega.
He separated me from a wrong understanding of who He is.
Odvojio me od krivog razumijevanja tko je Bog.
My religious world that I'd gone through
Moj religiozni svijet kroz koji
had
sam
left,
prošao
had left in me an understanding
ostavio je u meni jedno shvaćanje
that God was like the headmaster at school.
Da je Bog poput ravnatelja škole.
How many have ever been to school?
Koliko vas je ikad išlo u školu?
Have you been to school?
Jeste li u školi?
How many have ever had to go to the headmaster's office?
Koliko vas je moralo ići u ured ravnatelja?
And you know when you go there,
I znate da kad idete tamo,
it's punishment time.
da je vrijeme za kaznu.
In the school that I went to,
U školi koju sam ja pohađao,
if you were naughty,
ako si bio zločest,
and I was naughty,
a ja sam bio zločest,
they had these long cane, a cane, do you know what a cane is?
a imali su dugi štap.
Hold out your hand,
Ispruži ruke
big hit on the
i
hand.
dobio si packe.
My concept of God was like that.
Moj koncept Boga bio je takav.
That God was somebody who was very difficult to please.
Da je Bog neko koga je teško
That
zadovoljiti.
you had to kind of try to work hard
Da se ti moraš jako truditi
for Him to love you.
da bi te on volio.
And how many know when you're a sinner,
Koliko vas zna da kad si grešnik,
it's kind of real difficult to please God.
da je dosta teško ugoditi Bogu.
Your life seems to be a continual sense of failure,
Tvoj život je stalno promašaj
and you're just waiting for the moment
i ti samo čekaš trenutak
when God's going to call you to His office.
kad će te Bog pozvati u svoj ured.
Come here, mom.
Dođi,
Punishment time.
vrijeme za kaznu i za packe.
A few months after I gave my life to Jesus,
Par mjeseci nakon što sam dao život Isusu,
I hit a very low period in my life.
imao sam jedan težak period u životu.
I was struggling massively.
Borio sam se jako,
trying to live this Christian life.
pokušavajući živjeti taj kršćanski život.
One evening,
Jedne večeri
I got myself in a real big mess.
zapao sam u velike nevolje
And I went home to the place where I lived.
i došao sam kući,
And I knelt down beside my bed
kleknuo sam kraj kreveta
to tell God,
i rekao Bogu,
I've finished.
gotov sam.
You ever been there?
Jeste ikad bili na takvom mjestu?
To tell God it's all over.
Da kažete Bogu,
I
sve je gotovo.
I can't do this anymore.
Ja ovo više ne mogu činiti.
I'm out.
Ja izlazim van iz tog života s tobom.
In that moment,
Tog trena
something so significant happened.
nešto toliko značajnog se dogodilo.
It changed my life forever.
On je promijenio moj život zauvijek.
My room was dark,
Moja soba je bila tamna,
but it was as if
no bilo je kao
the very light of heaven flooded that room.
da je svjetlo iz neba došlo u tu
It
sobu.
was as if Jesus himself
I kao da je Isus sam
had stepped out of heaven,
sišao s neba,
walked into that room,
ušao u tu
and
sobu
just baptized me in his love.
i krstio me svojom ljubavlju.
Now, for a person who only knows to please God through work and effort,
Za osobu koja se trudila mukom ugoditi Bogu,
this shocked me.
ovo me šokiralo.
That here am I,
Ovdje sam ja
feeling so wretched,
i osjećam se tako
feeling such a failure.
kao takav veliki promašaj i
And what does
neuspjeh.
God do?
A što Bog čini?
He comes and loves me,
On dođe i zagrli me i
puts
pokaže
his
mi
arms
ljubav.
around me,
Zagrli me
and heals my wounded heart.
i iscijeli moje srce.
And suddenly in that moment,
Tog trenutka
I was separated
bio sam odvojen
from a life of trying to please God
iz života u kojem sam pokušavao ugoditi Bogu,
to the realization
do shvaćanja
that he loves me,
da me Bog voli,
that he loves me,
da me voli
and he loves me.
i da me voli.
And he loves you tonight.
On voli i tebe večeras.
So stop trying to please him.
Prestani pokušavati da mu ugodiš.
Just live the life of God in you.
Samo živi život Božji u tebi.
It's called the grace of God.
To se zove milost Božja.
Jesus has done it all.
Isus je sve učinio.
Hallelujah.
Haleluja.
Anyway, let's go on.
Idemo dalje.
I want you to notice something here.
Želim da nešto primijetite ovdje.
Verse 5.
5. stih.
It says Abraham
Abram
took his wife,
uze sa sobom svoju ženu,
took Lot his nephew.
svoga bratića Lota.
Now listen to this. All their possessions,
Čujte ovo, svu imovinu
which they had accumulated,
što su je namakli
and all the people
i svu čeljad
that they had acquired
koju su stekli
in this place called Haran.
u Haranu.
When God met Abraham,
Kada je Bog sreo Abrahama,
he was already a successful person.
on je već bio uspješna osoba.
When God met Abraham,
Kada je Bog sreo Abrahama,
he was already a man blessed.
on je već bio blagoslovljen čovjek.
But God was saying to him,
No Bog mu je rekao,
like he's saying to you,
kao što govori i vama,
you've got blessed,
ti si bio
you've
blagoslovljen,
got all these things,
dobio si sve te
but
stvari,
we're going to a new level.
no idemo na novi nivo.
Now, notice this, verse 10.
Primijetite 10. stih.
There was a famine in the land.
Ali kad je zemljom zavladala glad,
So Abraham went down to Egypt
Abram se spusti u Egipat
to live there,
da ondje proboravi,
for the famine was severe in the land.
jer je velika glad harala zemljom.
Chapter 13,
13. poglavlje,
verse 1.
1. stih.
Abraham came back from Egypt,
Iz Egipta Abram ode gore
he and his wife,
sa svojom ženom
and all that belonged to him.
i sa svime što je imao.
Lot was with him,
I Lot bješe s njim.
and Abraham was very rich.
Abram je bio veoma bogat.
Would you say very rich?
Recite veoma bogat.
Would you say very rich?
Recite veoma bogat.
Abraham prospered in a time of famine.
Abraham je imao uspjeh u vrijeme gladi.
Abraham prospered in a time of famine.
Abraham se obogatio u vrijeme gladi.
Abraham prospered in the time of famine.
Abraham se obogatio u vrijeme gladi.